She was holding it like it was an extension of her body, not just a weapon, more like a curling iron in practiced hands. The guys at the range howled with laughter, mocking the quiet woman who had silently stepped up to lane 9. She didn't say a word. No comeback, no glare. Just a slow exhale, a calm stance adjustment, and a smooth click as she loaded the magazine. Moments later, 10 shots fired. 10 direct center mass hits. Perfect, dead center, not one stray. Before the stunned regulars could process what they'd just seen, 2 military police officers entered the room. They didn't hesitate. No scanning the crowd. They walked straight to her, leaned in, whispered a few quiet words, and escorted her out. No cuffs, no drama, no wasted motion. If you believe real skill doesn't ask for attention, doesn't seek permission, type precision below. The range was a dusty spot outside Fort Merritt. Not exactly high-end, just some gravel, steel targets, and an aging building that smelled like oil, gunpowder, and old pride. The kind of place owned in spirit by its regulars, a mix of loud retired cops, ex-military wannabes, and the kind of men who referred to themselves as alpha, with absolutely nothing to back it up. Every Thursday, without fail, they gathered. They came for the sound of gunfire, the smell of spent brass, and, if they were honest, the chance to show off in front of each other. Then she showed up, a woman in her late 30s, athletic, deliberate. She wore a plain gray hoodie pulled low, dark aviators that masked her gaze, and she carried a weathered army duffel bag, faded green, threadbare at the seams. She didn't chat with the front desk clerk. She just signed the waiver, her handwriting sharp and efficient, then walked straight to lane 9 like she already knew the layout. The regulars watched like hawks. Brad, the loudmouth ex-mall cop with a gut shaped by too many beers and not enough work, nudged Jake and mumbled just loud enough, "Somebody's girlfriend wandered into the wrong club." Jake snickered. "Or looking for her boyfriend's gun." They laughed, a smug territorial laugh, the kind that says, "This is our domain. You don't belong here." She ignored it all. From her duffel, she drew an M9 Beretta, not new, but clean. The kind of weapon cared for like a trusted partner. It gleamed faintly under the buzzing fluorescence. She wore leather gloves, worn, darkened by time, not fashion. Her motions were smooth, almost ritualistic. She breathed in, outside. Then the buzzer sounded. She fired. 10 shots, rapid fire, crack, crack, crack. When the smoke cleared, every single round had gone through the bullseye. Not around it, through it. A tight 2-inch group at 15 yards. The room fell silent. Brad blinked. "All right. Lucky grouping," he muttered. "Let's see her run the plate rack." Without a word, she moved to the next course. 6 steel plates lined up. Most decent shooters could drop them in 5 seconds. She drew. Ping, 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 ping. 3.2 seconds. All 6 plates down. No hesitation, no misses. One man dropped his beer. Literally. Over the next half hour, she moved through 5 firearms. A .45 ACP, a sleek AR-15, a compact .38 revolver, even a vintage bolt-action rifle that looked like it belonged in a World War II documentary. Each time, perfect control. Every shot calculated. Every movement executed with quiet certainty. She didn't glance around for approval, didn't speak, didn't smile. She just shot, and she never missed. Marcus, the range safety officer and a former Marine, started paying real attention. He pulled out his phone, whispered something to Jenny at the front desk. You could feel the shift. The joking stopped. The bravado turned to curiosity, then to concern. Brad and Jake stood stiff now, their faces tight. "No way she's just a civilian," Jake whispered. "Watch her reload. That's military, that's combat trained." Then she switched to her left hand. Same speed, same accuracy, ambidextrous. Brad tried one last jab. He strutted over, puffed out his chest, and said, "Hey, lady, what's the channel?" YouTube University? She didn't flinch. She didn't even turn. She just loaded another mag, raised her pistol, and fired 3 shots. 3 holes, touching each other, dead center. Translation: your mouth runs slower than my bullets. Then the rumble came. A black military Humvee rolled into the parking lot. Official markings, no civilian tags, twin antennas on top. 2 MPs in crisp uniforms stepped out, calm, direct, and purposeful. They entered. No drawn weapons, no shouting. Just walked straight to her, like they already knew exactly where she'd be. The taller MP leaned in, said something quiet. She nodded. Safety check, holster, bag zipped. No goodbyes, no explanations. They walked her out like she was someone important, not under arrest, not a threat. Gone in 3 minutes. 5 minutes later, Marcus stepped back out of the office. He looked shaken, pale. "You guys..." His voice cracked. "You know who that was?" Nobody spoke. They all just stared. He held up his phone. A news article, DOD watermark. Headline: Special Operations Group Commander receives 4th Valor Citation for extraordinary heroism. The photo? It was her. No hoodie, no aviators. Tactical gear, metal-covered chest, regulation bun, same eyes, same calm. Name: Lieutenant Colonel Sarah K. Danner. Brad's jaw hit the floor. "You're kidding!" Marcus shook his head. "She cleared the Kandahar tunnels. 6 armed insurgents. Alone. 1 pistol. No backup. 3 Purple Hearts. Silver Star. Bronze Star with Valor. Led Black Ops teams across 3 combat zones." Someone else leaned over Marcus's shoulder. "Says here she saved 43 American lives in 1 mission." No one spoke. Brad sat down slowly, staring at the floor. "We laughed at her," he whispered. "God help us. We actually laughed at her." Jake muttered, "She could have said something." Marcus shook his head. "People like that don't need to. Their actions do the talking." The next morning, Marcus taped a laminated printout of Danner's citation on the wall next to Lane 9. Beneath it, a handwritten note. "In honor of Lieutenant. Column Sarah K. Danner. Precision needs no permission." Word spread. By noon, the town knew. By night, it was online. The range changed. The jokes stopped. The loud regulars faded. But something else began. Young women started showing up. Veterans returned. One college student, Maria Gonzalez, showed up holding her grandma's .38. "I heard about the colonel," she said. "If she could stand here, so can I." Marcus walked her to Lane 9. She'd like that. He started a new program. Silent precision. Invite only. No ego, no shouting. Lane 9 stayed empty until noon, reserved for those who understood respect. Then the Humvee came back. The MPs handed Marcus a cardboard box. Inside, a handwritten note. For Lane 9. Tell them, it's never about who's loudest. SKD-3 steel targets, a professional range card with elite drills. Marcus had the note framed, right next to her citation. By month's end, the Danner line became official. Other ranges copied the model, not for clout, but to create quiet spaces where excellence mattered more than ego. 6 months later, a young woman named Ashley Chen wore a patch reading Lane 9 at a regional shooting competition. She won. Big. Her speech? "This medal belongs to a colonel who taught us something without ever saying a word. Sometimes the best lessons come from the quietest teachers." Fort Merritt's range changed for good. No walk-ins on Thursdays, no selfies, no bravado, only respect. On the 1-year anniversary, Marcus installed a plaque at the entrance. It didn't name her. It didn't need to. She made her point without saying a word. So will we. Excellence speaks for itself. The loud ones now stood silent. Brad returned eventually, softer, quieter. "I want to learn. For real this time." Marcus pointed toward Lane 9. She'd probably respect that. The truth of Lane 9 was never just about shooting. It was about humility, about recognizing greatness without demanding it announce itself, and knowing Sometimes the quietest person in the room is the most dangerous, or the most honorable. Sometimes they're both. If you believe legacy needs no volume, just accuracy, subscribe to Ironheart Stories.